We give you all the glory, we give you all the honor, and we thank you that you will continue to give us the grace, not just to be hearers, but doers of the word. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Just like I said, Sister Hetty, we just continue with this as we go in the love of God. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Somebody sent me a video. The person actually lives in Europe, but this is a church from Africa. I think it's in Nigeria. And it was a video of a lady with her 3 children, and she went to church, and apparently they had planned it. She already told her children how to steal other people's pocketbooks, wallets, and stuff like that. So they now have this woman sitting on the floor, and everybody was yelling. I don't know if it was the pastor's voice that, was narrating the whole story. And if you see the woman, she looked like she had not eaten in maybe a couple of weeks or more. And the children too, they look so haggard. And these people are just yelling and saying, look at this picture very well. If you see this woman come to your church, be careful, be this and that. And pretty much they were just shaming this woman. And the person that sent me the video I don't know what she was expecting me to say. And my response is, why are they shaming her? Don't they see that this woman is hungry? Really? And this is Africa, especially in Nigeria, where their politicians are fleecing them like anything. These politicians are making away with millions and millions of, not naira, dollars. And now you're shaming this woman with her children. Probably she's not eating for days. You think she just wants to go to a church and steal a pocketbook? So when I gave that response, the person was a little bit shocked. I guess she thought maybe, hey, because I'm in the church, I'm probably going to feel. I'm like, heck to the no. I think you need to all take this woman to the back and feed her and give her money. That's how we show love. It needs to start from the church. It's not about what we say, it's about what we do. Right now, they're about to start politics all over again in the country of Nigeria. And they are putting billions of naira out there. If you remember, Pastor Roy said something last week, that the amount of money, they say 239 billion naira, that they put out for election. And they don't have 239 million people in that country. So can you imagine if they give each person an amount of money? Wouldn't it be nice? One of these days you go to a church, especially back in Nigeria, and the pastor makes a call and says, if you desperately need money, and maybe you don't have money to buy grocery, you haven't eaten, come to the front. And people run out. And you don't tell them that you made that call for them to come and put money down so you can pray for them, but for you to actually hand them envelopes and say, go do some grocery shopping. I am putting that challenge out there to all these pastors, men and women of God, that claim that they love God and love the people. That is how you show love. That is how you show love. People are actually dying of starvation. You will see them lynching people. They'll say that person stole something ridiculous. But they are celebrating the politicians. that are going away with lots of money. They're celebrating these politicians that are putting it there on the internet, on social media, their wife's birthday, and they're presenting their wives with the brand new Mercedes or one of those, fancy cars. And you guys are celebrating that. But you're shaming a woman that came to church to steal with her children? Do you think anybody really wants to go to church with her children to steal? It's desperation. People are desperate. I am not in any way means saying it's okay to steal. But if you see this woman, my goodness, you will see that she's hungry. And she's sitting down there. Only God knows how much they have beaten her before they actually now put the video on her. She's just sitting down there, looking all sad and dejected. And the children, we are shaming little kids. Love needs to start in the church. Amen. And it's not. It's not. It's high time the pastors, the men and women of God need to get it right. For God so loved the world, he gave. But now in the churches, for God so loved, they so love their pockets, they're taking. And believe you me, it is ridiculous in Nigeria. You cannot walk 2 blocks without a church. You're like, there's church on every block. And the people are so poor. People are living under the bridge. People will put 2 boxes together and it's just, and you're like, really? And then you see all these mega churches. Mother Teresa once addressed the United Nations, and she was asked, how do we solve world peace? And she said, go home and love your family. And that if we all did that, paradise lost will become paradise found. Jesus found his whole ministry on love. Love is a priority commandment. And God himself is love. And it's such a shame that it's one thing we still don't get right in church. The most important thing is love, and we still don't get it right. We're all guilty. And that's why I said, Sister Petty could just continue. Because love is not about what we say. It's about what we do. In the chapter that was read in Mark 12, it says, of all the commandments, which is the most important? Let us look at this familiar verse with a new lens and a fresh heart. We've had it so much. And sometimes we think, love again. We talk about love so much. But as much as we talk about it, we still don't get it. Everybody sing about love, but we don't know anything about love. Thousands of songs, movies continue to come out there singing about love, making movies about love. And that was, what we were saying this morning. They show all this perfect love. But in the world we live in, that perfect love does not exist. There's some of these songs, some of these lyrics, when you hear them, you want to fall in love. Because they make it look so good. I can live without you. I can die without you. But is that what love really is? Because the unfortunate thing is that the world cannot tell us what love is. The only one that can tell us what love is God. Because he's the only one that has shown us what love is. But then in the church, we have failed the test. And we continue to fail the test. I went to watch a movie the other day with Dara. It was a musical. It was a musical movie. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Every song in that movie is about love. Because every song they sang was about love. But guess what? This was a group of 4 people, 2 men and women, and they were all married to each other. But guess what? Their marriages didn't last. Despite all the songs and all the lyrics of the love songs. See, does that tell you something? That we don't have a clue what love is all about. We sing it, we watch it. So that's why, as I was saying this morning, I was thinking about that to the children, that you see all of this thing in social media. Perfect love and all of that. It's not real yet. But it needs to start to be real in the house of God. Because the Almighty God that we serve himself is love. Amen. The Bible, on the other hand, whatever the world says, the Bible, on the other hand, tells us that love does not fail. It says love covers a multitude of sins. But despite that, we in church, we hold the most grudges. See, it's really sad. Because I was thinking, I'm like, you know what? I keep on coming back to this issue of love that tells you that I don't have it right myself. It says, love the Lord your God. Love your neighbor as yourself. There is no fear in love. Perfect love casted out fear. So we have the best theory of what love is. But we have not been able to practicalize it. We know what love is, but we're just not living what love is. So do we ever wonder that though, of all the commandments that God gave, he said that's the most important. Love. He didn't even say thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not take somebody, but I guess if you love somebody, you wouldn't take their life, right? Love is a priority commandment. We don't realize that nothing else will happen if love does not happen. Sometimes we need to look closer at a lot of things we are running after, a lot of things we are praying for. It will not happen until love happens. We all need a strategy of success, breakthrough, healing, increase. But we get all of this in small doses. And what is missing for the abundance of all of this is love. If the creator of the heaven and earth, the CEO of the whole world, the Alpha and Omega, the all-knowing, the all-seeing, the one that made everything says, love me, then love others. He's telling us that's the winning strategy. And until we get it right, either as a child or as an adult, even as you children, start by, loving each other, loving your siblings. Love is one concept that we all seem to know so much about, and we do so little about. Just about anyone here can come to this podium, take this microphone, and talk about love. 1 Corinthians 13, Mark 12, 13 that we read, 1 John 4, all of those, so many verses, so many chapters. But how much of it do we practice? I was thinking about it, Sister Paula, when you came up here, and you said, thank you for praying for me. Love is not just about me praying for you. Love is about me getting off of my behind and coming to visit you. Because I'm praying for you. We don't even know if you're praying. But if you get up and go to see the person, or if I pick up the phone and call, it goes a long way. It's not about, I'm praying for you. We know all those, the jargons to say in church. I am praying for you. You're in my thoughts. Ha! And the sad thing is, we're all guilty of it. And you wonder that, why is it that that's such a simple concept when we think about it? With so many benefits, it's so difficult for us as humanity to attain. When you think about it, that with love, we will have world peace. We will have good health. We will have a solid home, balanced children, great communities, and even answered prayers. But then, we're not getting it. Why are we not getting it? Sometimes it's our pride. Pride does not even allow us to admit that I have issues in that area. It's always about, God sees my heart. Yeah, God sees our hearts, and He says our heart stinks. There's so many benefits of love that we cannot take it for granted. Love is everything. Love heals. Love cares. It binds. Just our love for God alone, it motivates obedience. It motivates perseverance. You see in James 1:12, it says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to him that love him. And I'm like, wow. Our love for God also, it provides us with protection. He said, keep your heart with all diligence. When you have the time, go and read that. Oh, I think it's, is it Proverbs 4 or something? Yeah, he says that. Proverbs 4:23-27. Read it at your own time. And the love for God protects us from a whole lot of things, because if we don't love Him enough, we will love anything else above Him. So loving Him also protects us from having the love of money. There's nothing wrong with money. It's the love of it that is not good. And it's the love for God especially that helps us and empowers us to love other people. love is a high cost investment. Let's go to First Thessalonians chapter 3.